Edge is a telephone company. We're a facilities-based CLEC, technically. And we were founded in 1996, where our offices were on John Street. At 9/11, most of our network, our clients, needed to move as a result of the debris in the downtown, as did we, and we moved to Dumbo, where we brought in our own dark fiber and lit it ourselves. As such, we had the only high capacity, high availability circuit in the neighborhood. And we decided to go into the internet service provider business, where we became the dominant provider of high-speed internet in Dumbo. We rely on vendors we rely on our assessment of vendors' technologies, because our network is all a high-speed switched infrastructure, which is fiber optic cable fed. At the endpoints, when we want to distribute services using wireless technology, we source the best technology in the field. For backhaul, for the kind of backhaul that supports Wi-Fi, we've determined that the company by the name of IgniteNet is by far the best backhaul supportive of Wi-Fi. And what differentiates the technology in Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi companies, by and large, are talking about mesh technology. We believe that mesh technology is very limited. And it's limited because it dedicates the best bandwidth, your 5 gigahertz spectrum. Wi-Fi is 2.4 and 5 gigahertz spectrum. You dedicate your 5 gigahertz spectrum to distributing services, backhaul, to your various Wi-Fi devices. We believe that will contribute to a tremendous amount of interference and limited use of your Wi-Fi resources. IgniteNet has a 60 gigahertz technology, which is very low cost. 60 gigahertz technology is very high capacity. It's zero interference. And they're the first person to break the $1,000 per unit price barrier. Their units cost $500, $550. And their units support both 60 gigahertz backhaul and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi distribution, or that 5 gigahertz can be used for redundancy, if you want to use it that way, all in the same low-cost unit. Whereas Cisco products of the same power, and Ruckus products of the same power, and Aruba, these are the very high-end Wi-Fi distribution products, cost upwards of $1,500, and in some cases upwards of $2,000 per unit. And those units dedicate a good portion of the 5 gigahertz portion of the radio entirely to feeding services to the other radios, rather than distributing services to handheld devices and laptops and users that need to use that spectrum for service. Governor's Island is a blank slate. There's practically nothing here in terms of connectivity resources. So it gives unlike other situations where you need to integrate legacy technology and legacy infrastructure into your plans and create an evolutionary plan, which really hinders your ability to reach for the moon in terms of your design. A blank slate permits you to just simply embrace the very best that technology has to offer now, with a unobstructed migration plan to innovations we know are developing in the future, like smart city and sensor technology and Internet of Things, smart everything. So this is a unique opportunity to deliver the best possible network and the best possible migration plan. There's lots of logistical challenges. On Governor's Island, the biggest logistical challenge is trees. We love our trees. We don't want to disrupt our trees, but there's a canopy of trees. And 5 gigahertz and 60 gigahertz technology don't like trees. So one of the challenges is to arrange line of sight, and we want to use wireless distribution, that is unobstructed by trees. Careful planning, redundancy, and working with the arborists who want to protect the trees and protect the canopy, and working out a smart workaround to when you encounter those kinds of logistical challenges. There's a big problem with wireless. All Wi-Fi now is 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. And that spectrum is becoming increasingly crowded. And the devices that distribute it are becoming increasingly powerful to overcome the interference of other more powerful devices. This is a race to the bottom. And unless there's another spectrum, for instance, 5G technology, which is a much lower band technology, Wi-Fi is quite limited. 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi technology has a limited connectivity density. My vision of the future is, the immediate future is not using mesh, but using 60 gigahertz distribution of backhaul to Wi-Fi devices. Unless you're in a very isolated, moderate use scenario where you can manage, you'll have sufficient availability for your users and you could peel off sufficient amount of capacity for your backhaul.